You can stop me if you want.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's go. Go for it.
All right, well, Rich, you've been a part of playoff basketball, but just like for the entirety of just game two, the reset that you have to have, what's the conversation been like for both of you in order to do just that, to reset and get the job done to go back to Atlanta?
The biggest thing, just gotta stay focused. We know this one is definitely win or go home, so we definitely gotta come out with the winning mentality and just learn from the mistakes that we had last game and just come out aggressive and ready to win.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was learning. We had a lot of things that we could have changed in that first game, but there also was a lot of good stuff. And we can't forget about that, implementing that into this game and then tweaking those little things that really hurt us last game.
Without giving away the game plan, what did you feel like you could build on specifically on the defensive end that gave them a couple of issues, especially in the first half?
Yeah, trying to think without giving away the game plan. Just being really aggressive. I think is something that when we came out of the gate and we did that early, it's just disruptive for any team, really. It could really throw off, the pace of the other team, throw off their schemes, their game plan. So just really being aggressive and punching first and sustaining that the entirety of the game.
I wanted to go to that, just the consistency there within like the last few games, even a regular season, the challenge of all 40 minutes or all, not the dips. Where do you feel like if those moments happen in playoff basketball, that you, even as a leader, can be better for this team?
Just not making the same mistakes over and over. The biggest thing when getting a lead that big, keeping the lead. I mean, obviously, like things of turnovers allow them to get transition books and things of that nature. So just being more smart and composed and not making the same mistakes over and over again.
And then guarding Arike, how most can't stop, but to contain, what does that look like?
You just gotta be honest. I mean, she's a scorer, so she can score from anywhere on the court. The biggest thing you have scorers like they just gotta make the shots difficult for them. I mean, they're gonna make shots, they're gonna get their stats. It's just how difficult do you make it for them?
And then my last question, just overall for just shining some light into just how this team is so cohesive. It seems like it is just one game, we have a next one, we live to see another day. What has been the message from T, or whether it just be amongst the group, about how you guys are coming together and saying next game for one another?
Yeah, I think, the biggest thing is that we all believe it. I mean, there's no doubt in anybody. And you can feel that energy of like we're taking it home. We're taking this, back to our fans, being able to sleep in our own beds and things of that nature. But, like I said, the biggest thing is that we believe it, and we've seen glimpses of what we look like when we're at our best. And just looking forward to putting that all together tonight.
Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, all, good to see you both. Allisha, I wanted to ask you first, speaking of sleeping in your own beds, I know this is the longest you've been back in Dallas since the trade happened. If you could kind of like sum up, like, is there anything that's like, has it kind of like hit you like, oh, it's really been that long? And like, what is maybe, has anything stuck out about what this year has meant to you in terms of what you learned about yourself?
I mean, my focus on Atlanta. I mean,
Yeah.
Atlanta's a great place. I mean, Dallas, I've been here for 6 years, but, sometimes it's time to flip that page in the book. So my focus is all on Atlanta. I mean, my focus has been on Dallas.
No, I appreciate that. And then Nas, I wanted to ask you too, this is incredibly random, but I was catching up with Layla Filia yesterday. And I know obviously you played with her and you got to cover her a little bit with BTN last year. What has you most excited about getting to see her kind of grow into a leadership role this year?
Yeah, it is super exciting to see her in this new role. I mean, just her growth has been amazing. I watched her come in as a rookie. I mean, as a freshman, I guess. And I even talked to her, before she committed to Michigan, because I was that person on the call to try to make sure it happened that she ended up at Michigan. But I mean, she's just grown so much on and off the court, and just seeing that transition of, she was very timid and nervous and quiet, her freshman year, to seeing, who she's become. And she's going to be a staple, for the Michigan team this year. But I'm super proud of her, and she puts in the work. I mean, the time. She is one of those people who wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get Pilates and then go to class and get her extra shots and everything in between. So everything that she's got coming to her is definitely deserved. And I'm super excited.
Go ahead, Megan.
Yeah, hey Nas, hey Leash. Leash, this question is for you. Earlier in the season, I think this was June, I asked you one word to describe the season up to this point. I think your word for me was adapting. So I guess my question back to you, now that you've gone through the ups and downs of the season and made it into the playoffs and now faced with a situation of, hey, it's win or go home. What is your word now?
My word now is, I mean, at this point, I 3 words: finish the job. I mean, we know what we're here for. I mean, just want to go home. I mean, I don't want my season to end tonight. So I mean, it's just want to go home. So we got to finish the job.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Nas, this question actually is more of a comment for you, but I want to get your thoughts. It's more of a fun one. So a little while ago, I asked CP who was the better dancer out of the two of you. And she said it was you, but you learned from her. So I guess my question to you is, what do you think about those comments from CP?
I definitely am the better dancer. I did not learn it from CP.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate both of you.
Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Nas, tell me about what you feel that the bench needs to contribute tonight in order to get this win.
Yeah, I think coming off the bench is very unique, and I have found ways to, I mean, just take it all in. I mean, especially, you get a chance to see what the first group puts out on the floor, what's working and what's not. And we just have to be paying attention to that. Whether that's for us to take, what we're learning and put it onto the floor, or take what we're seeing and give it back to the starters. We have to have the mentality where there's no drop off, when we come into the game, especially defensively. I think with our team, we have some really great scorers, people who just get it done. And we need people on the floor who's ready to defend. Obviously, Dallas is very dynamic and they have some scorers on their team. But we have to make sure that we're ready and focused when our number is called to be defenders, and take what we are seeing before we're on the court, and applying it once we get on. There's no time for drop off. When our starters need their rest, we need to be able to set them, allow them to sit for a little bit of time so that they can rest and then be prepared to get back in without any runs being had on us, or without that, or making sure that we don't have that drop off.
And we'll finish up with Hunter. Go ahead.
Yeah, question for both of y'all. When you're away from home during a series like this, what are some things you guys enjoy doing to take your mind off basketball, either individually or collectively?
I play video games. That's what I do. I play video games.
Yeah. I like to just find places to eat. That's what I like to do. But also just like keeping in contact with family. I feel like that takes your mind off of, all of everything, really. Kind of makes you feel like not that you're at home, but you have, some type of comfort in the people that you're speaking to.
Okay, I think we're good. Thank you, everyone.
Did you see the game, Scott?